What's wrong with collecting? Why is everything going down the hill? Blah, 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 blah. Seems to be a lot of videos on that lately. What's ruining retro collecting? Is retro collecting over? No, it's not over. No, it's not the end of the world. No, resellers aren't the bane of collectors' existence. And this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but the big problem I think people have with collecting, or what the problem is with collecting, with prices getting higher and resellers, and just I think a lot of the problem with retro collecting is us. It's the collectors. There, that's it. Oh, do you want more of an explanation? Probably needed, because people aren't going to like that. But 110% think that the problem with retro collecting is the collectors. It's not the resellers. It's not prices, because no one forces us to pay anything for these games. We pay what we want. Now, at times, might we be a little bit overzealous? Yes. Because we want to have that game or those games, or that was such a good lot of games to pick up. Wrong button. I've picked up a lot of games, like a lot, from eBay, purely for Master System, because it's difficult to find that stuff out in the wild. But I know I've picked up lots so I could get one game. And that deprives somebody else of picking up that lot. Could that have been their first lot that they were going to get for the Master System? Maybe. So I got a console I didn't need, several games I didn't need. And because I was willing to pay more than the previous person, the price of everything for that went up a little bit. But nobody made me pay that price. I just thought it was worth it, and so I bid it. Now, there's been times that I bid on auctions that the price wasn't where I thought it should be. I was like, there's no way this game or this group of games or whatever is going to go for this price. And I've ended up winning. And I was like, I was just trying to get the seller more of what it should be worth, but cool. But, if you're willing to pay what somebody is asking, it's a voluntary transaction, and if both people walk away happy, what is there to complain about? I know I've probably overpaid for some of my games, but I enjoy my games. I enjoy collecting, and it's not just games. I collect several things. I collect Lego. I collect, action figures, particularly Masters of the Universe. And what is is it just people want to have something to complain about? A lot of times when we're complaining about something, we need to look inside. What is going on with me and this collecting thing, or whatever the thing is that we are whining and complaining about? Sometimes we have a bad attitude about it, and I should say oftentimes we have a bad attitude about it. I started watching a guy, and he makes a lot of good points, but he puts it all on the resellers. And it's like, anybody who's a collector is going to try to get something for as little money as possible generally. If they feel comfortable haggling, they're going to try to talk down the price. It doesn't matter what is being asked for. A lot of times we all want to save money. It doesn't matter if the economy's good or if the economy is like it is now and not that great and everything costs a lot more than we would like. It's still a voluntary transaction. Video games, Lego, action figures, pops, whatever it is, none of that is necessary. None of that is needed to live. It's all a luxury. I get tired of people picking on resellers, because resellers aren't the problem. Resellers are providing a service. If you don't like what resellers are doing, don't buy from resellers. But are resellers doing much different than game stores? Game stores just provide you a place to bring in your games to sell or trade. The reseller comes to you. And if both people walk away from the transaction happy, and I'm not including buyer's remorse, because that happens, but why are resellers suddenly just this horrible thing? They're going out, they're spending the time, the effort, and getting the stuff from the wild, as we like to call it, and making it available more widely. But it's still a voluntary transaction. And if somebody is selling something for too low, then that can be my gain. I'm not obligated to tell somebody how much something sells for. When I went to do the vending, nobody told me, hey, you need to price this at this, that at that. I had to go through and do the homework to do it. And so there's a lot of time and effort that goes into the reselling. Now, I will agree, there are dirty resellers. Guys who just grab stuff, throw it in a bin or whatever, don't clean it up, don't even check to make sure it works, and then try to sell it. There are those. But I really think that people who go out, hunt, spend the time, their weekends, whatever, and have put in the time to know what the games are selling for, that takes time, that takes effort. That time you can't get back. You can earn more money, but once the time's gone, it's gone. What is everyone's thoughts on collecting in general? Like I said, collectors are the problem. Because if we're not buying stuff and we're not willing to pay the prices that people are asking, the price is going to come down. They might get out of the reselling market. They're just filling a need. And again, none of this stuff is needed to live, but because people want it, people are out hunting for this stuff because it is worth money to some people. I'd love to hear y'all's comments, thoughts, video responses. Like, what are your issues with collectors? Sorry, not collectors, with the collecting problem, aka resellers. And I think most collectors are great people, but we've all run into people in the collecting scene who are absolute punks. When I was selling at that convention, I was selling off some of my doubles, some of the stuff, like I'm thinning out my N64 collection. A guy came up to me with like 6 or 7 games. He's like, "Can you do $40 for this?" And I was like, the Master System games, he had 3 Master System games and 3 or 4 other games. Like, the Master System games are $45 on their own. I could do those for 40. I could do 60 for the other 3. And he didn't do it. He didn't, and that's fine. He did not think that was a good enough deal for him. But if he was looking to flip them, there wasn't enough money in it for him. If he was looking for it for his collection, it still wasn't a good enough deal for him. So kudos to him. The price wasn't right. Would I have liked to have sold them? Yes. But he spent like 25 minutes looking through the stuff, picking that stuff out, and the price wasn't right. I was like, 60 was the best I could do. I think it was 3 PlayStation 2 games. And there might have been an N64 game in there. But sometimes the price isn't right. We all need to learn to walk away. We all need to learn that, hey, There are other things that are more important than these games that we love to collect, or whatever it is that we like to collect. It's not the end-all be-all for everything. Again, we need to look inside and try not to get so excited over something we find. I know when I found some of the obscure Sega early 8-bit stuff, I got excited and I may have overpaid. But I was still happy with what I got. Is that dumb? You know, I have my own value attached to this stuff. And what I value it at is not the same as what somebody else values it at, and that's fine. Those 6 games I valued at $60. The guy did not. He didn't buy them. I had Bigfoot for the NES, and that was going for $10. And so I had it marked down to 5 because it had some label damage. And then the guy's like, could you do 3? No, I already marked it down a bunch because of the label damage. So the price wasn't right for me. The price wasn't right for him in that instance also. So he left. I sold some games undervalued because I didn't think they were worth what they were selling for on eBay. I was like, no one's going to buy that for that stuff. And so I sold it was a snowboarding or skateboarding game on the Dreamcast. I think it was $5. It was in a case, but I was never going to play it. The guy just got a Dreamcast, and I was like, hey, great, you can have a game for your new Dreamcast. Enjoy it. And I hope he does. Like I said, I had no inclination to play the game. But hopefully it's in hands that do. If I had gone out early in the morning and hunted that game down, and then paid somebody $1 and then sold it for $5, would that make me a dirty reseller? Which no, I don't go out hunting often anymore. There's not a lot of stuff I'm looking for my collection. And most of what I can't easily find in the United States. I spent a lot of time looking on Yahoo Japan. Because Mark III, Master System, SG-1000, it's not easy to find it in the United States. And the price of that stuff is just going up and up and up and up. And I don't think it's worth it. So I may not go out and drive around, which takes gas, time. But not going out driving, stopping at yard sales very frequently. I do it on occasion when I'm out and about on a Saturday. But I'm not doing it every weekend. I'm not hitting Goodwill. I'm not hitting the pawn shops all the time. I think that's one thing that we don't see with the resellers. And I'm probably one of the few people that would actually like to see it, where they go out and they're like, all right, I hit this flea market or swap meet. I hit this Goodwill, that Goodwill, you know, all these pawn shops. I came away with nothing. Spent 4 hours, got 0. Because what kind of good entertainment would that make? None. People don't want to see that generally. They want to see the hits and the scores. We want to know how much, oh yeah, I got this game and it was scratched, but I was able to resurface it, or I was able to clean the pins and I got it working, and now it's worth, $20 and I only paid $1 for it. We don't want to see, I couldn't find anything this go around. Very, very seldom do you see, I went game hunting and look at what I got. Goose egg. Lovely. The thing is, why are we so just mad about other people getting good deals and then turning around and selling it? Because then they take that money and go buy more stuff. Some of it they keep for their collection, some of it they don't. Like some of it's jealousy, some of it's like not everyone. They say, anyone can do it. No, anyone can't do it, because if anyone could do it, a lot more people would do it. Because some people don't have the time, some people don't have the inclination, and some people don't have the knowledge to go and do it. I don't collect for any of the Sony systems. No PlayStation, whatever. So I could come across like the most expensive game for the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I wouldn't know it. And I don't care. That's not what I'm interested in. Did I miss an opportunity? Yeah. But did I know I missed an opportunity? No. It's not worth the time and effort for me. If I ever start collecting for those systems, then I'll start learning about them. But, it's just not something that I want to spend the time and effort at. And not everyone has the time and effort to do it. So why is it that we're picking on resellers? Blame it on collectors. They're willing to pay too much for these games. Done. That's it. Give your buddies a bad time when they're like, oh yeah, look, I just bought Hagani for $1,000 loose. Or I just picked up a lot of Saturn games and there was 5 of them and they're all common titles. Like, oh yeah, I just spent $150 for it. Why? You're not going to play anything in them. And early on in collecting, it's easy to get caught up in it. Also, as well as you're just collecting a bunch of stuff instead of having a focus on what you're collecting. But if you got a problem with resellers, I really think we need to look in the mirror as collectors and be like, okay, is it because I don't go out and do that and I wish I could? I don't go out and do that and don't like that other people are doing it? The thing is, they're not hurting anybody. If somebody doesn't do their homework to know what they've got, that's their fault. But if they're happy with the price of the exchange, then what does it matter? Why are we getting upset and hurt and offended for other people? There are more important things to worry about. In an exchange that's voluntarily done and no one is harmed in any way. Yeah, they could have made X, Y, or Z. Yeah, but they didn't. They didn't go on eBay. They didn't look up the prices for sold listings. But like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Hope everyone has a good week. We'll see you later.